Greetings and welcome. I would like to begin by lighting a bundle of white sage to purify this area. So if you would just enjoy, imagine that you are in this room, breathing in the wonderful scent of sage. Here we go. This one I have already burned before, so the tip is a little bit charred, you can see. That's okay. And of course, as always, I have some incense burning in the background. It's right over there. Okay. We have matches. Let me set this down. And then light it. Smell it, but that didn't really do so much. Let's try that again. This time I'll start it in a new area. Oh. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay, there we go, yes. Already I can tell this is much better. It's catching, the fire is catching, you see? Okay. Then you just sage the area. That's done. The real subject of this video is a tribute to a metal band I really love and admire called In This Moment. I'm going to switch over and talk a little bit more loudly, soft-spoken, so that you can better hear, but I might whisper off and on the occasion. So I have several things to show you, and we'll just get started. So, the first item is a CD single for Sick Like Me, which is one of the singles off of the band's sophomore album. Well, actually not sophomore album, but after their sort of rebirth with Blood, the follow-up album to that called Black Widow. I'm something of a new school fan. I didn't even know about the band until 2012 when they released Blood, and I've been a fan since then. So for me, that album was kind of like the first, and so then Black Widow is the second. This contains 2 tracks. 1 is Sick Like Me, 2 is Big Bad Wolf, which is another single from that album. I remember going to Best Buy to grab a copy of this, and it was exciting because there was the possibility of finding a special ticket inside, and if you found one of those tickets, it was VIP access to a show you're choosing. Unfortunately, I did not find one of those tickets. That's okay. Next, we have a vinyl single So a vinyl record of Sex Metal Barbie. This was released as a record store day special, 2015, I believe. And so it's got on the A side, Sex Metal Barbie, and on the B side, Sex Metal Barbie as well, but a remix by Ethnic. So this is just really cool. It's got the artwork from the Sex Metal Barbie visual aesthetic, with the vocalist Maria front and center with her blood girls on the sides flanking. And she's got her podium and her beauty queen crown and sash. Sex Metal Barbie, homicidal queen. That's how that goes. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. It's a nice pink record. Here we go. Oh, I had to adjust my mask real fast. Excuse me. Okay, better. Actually, let me take a sip of my drink. Okay. Next, we have an autographed photo of the vocalist Maria Brink, signed in a red Sharpie, and it features the logo at the bottom from her website, Maria Brink's Wonderland. This is from the music video shoot for their single Blood, which was the lead single off of their album, also called Blood, which really jump-started or rebooted their career. And so here she's looking very murderous and sexy and kind of gothic evil queen, Snow White fairy tale sort of thing. She's got the apple, the crown. I just love everything about it. And next, what do we have here? Oh, it's a lanyard from a VIP experience. It's the Hell Pop meet and greet lanyard and token with artwork on it, signed by the band. And so this was from the Hell Pop tour, which they did after the massive success of their album Blood, and that was awesome. On the back you see their logo in flames. It's a crown and a medical cross, and then the flames. Hell Pop. I'll go ahead and put this on actually. Let's see. There we go. I feel better already. And next, we have a ticket. The ticket that I received when I saw them. One of the first times I saw them in Atlanta, Georgia, at a venue called The Masquerade. And this was November the 6th of 2013. I had not printed, but I'd received this ticket in the mail, and then I saved it, and I put it against a black backdrop, some cardboard paper, and I hung it in my room at one point as part of a collage. Now I just have it by itself, but got gosh, the memories are flooding back. At this point in time, the venue was divided into sections, with the top section hosting musicians and artists and guests, and it was called Heaven. And then the bottom section, which also could accommodate musical artists and guests and patrons, was called Hell. So Heaven and Hell. This show was in Heaven. I went to Heaven in 2013, y'all. It was a great show. I got to meet the band right before it happened as part of a VIP experience, and I remember when we posed for a picture, and I had just met them all, shook hands and said hello, and they had signed a little vinyl single I'd brought. I was very nervous though, and I told them that, and Maria, she had her hand like right across my shoulder, and she said, "Don't be nervous," and she leaned over and whispered, "I'm a schizophrenic," and that made me smile, of course, and they took the picture just then as I was smiling, so that was perfect. Next. Oh, it's in protective paper or plastic. This is a wonderful sound. I'll remove it for you. Okay, so this lovely autographed picture is the most recent piece of merchandise that I have from the band, and I'm happy to say that I obtained it firsthand at the Carolina Rebellion 2018 back in May, so just a few months ago when I went to this event, the Carolina Rebellion. I was in a fortunate position because I was actually working with one of my side jobs. I'll just go ahead and say it. I work part-time for FYE, which stands for Your Entertainment, in the mall, and we actually have a booth set up at the Carolina Rebellion, so I was able to sign up. I went and worked there just for that day. I believe it was a Saturday, and I did what I needed to do. I was told, stand here at the tent, greet guests, make sure everything's secure, and then eventually I was sent out to peddle CDs to the crowds whenever artists would play, and I was a success at that. I sold them all, I sold them all. That was great. And in and among that, I could take time off to see the bands that I really wanted to see, and in this moment was, of course, the main band I wanted to see, really. And so I went and saw them. They did just like an abbreviated set, they were just one of many performing during the daytime at one of the stages. I think it was the Carolina stage, or maybe the Rebellion stage, I forget. In any event, afterward, there was a meet and greet opportunity. You just had to stand in line, so I did, and then I got to meet the band, shake their hands, say hello. Some of them remembered me. Maria, the vocalist, remembered me. She said, "It's nice to see you again." That was lovely. And then they had signed this. So this is from their most recent album called Ritual. Ritual, Ritual, Ritual. Okay. And then this. Oh gosh. It's a collage that I made from when I had seen them on the Black Widow tour several times. So I've got the ticket stubs to the various venues I went, a sticker, a VIP patch from when I got to meet Maria. I was one of the VIPs. I was chosen because I had dressed up for the show. They call it Become the Show. And if you're close enough to the stage and she sees you, she might choose you to meet her after the show, and I was one of the chosen, so I'm very proud of that. And you know, true story, I was wearing the very mask that I'm wearing now when I was chosen, and when I went up to meet her on her bus after the show, and she said, "Thank you so much for being here. You're so very creative. I love your mask." You know, stuff like that. It was wonderful. I also tacked on a clipping from a magazine, as well as the album artwork to Black Widow, which the band had signed when I met them, also at the Carolina Rebellion in 2015, I believe, 2016, something like that. Next, there's a photo, a nice, lovely extended photo, also autographed, that I won, not really won, but that was given to me as a bonus item to an auction on eBay that I'd won. There was a fan of theirs who had attended this show, and he was also something of a photographer, and so he took this picture personally and had several copies made, and so he sent me this one that he had gotten autographed by the band, so that was very fortunate. This was from their show Live at the Orpheum, which you can actually find an audio copy and a DVD copy. They have both released for sale on iTunes and various music platforms. You can get a physical copy as well from that show, which was their first ever, and I think to this date the only live DVD that they've ever done. But it was very good in celebration of the massive success of Blood. And then here is a magazine cutout of Maria, the vocalist, when she's wearing her ring mistress attire with the carnival hat in sequins, shiny sequins, and her bow tie, and of course the dark makeup. I love it. And then another vinyl single, this time it's Blood, signed by the band when I met them outside of the gates of heaven, as it were, in 2013 down in Atlanta, Georgia. And so on the back side, you see the band, and there's 2 tracks. Type A positive, that's the A side, is Blood, and then type B negative is Closer. 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 Which is a cover of the 9 Inch Nails song, Closer. Wonderful track. You get me closer to God. It's a line from it. Just a couple items left. This is a magazine. It's called Outburn. It's a music magazine, and this cover features Maria with her lovely claw and her mask. And so this was an interview to promote their album Ritual. And on the back side is that album cover, Ritual, featuring a single called Oh Lord, but I think my favorite from the album is called River of Fire. It goes something like, let it rain, oh won't you let it rain, let the storm rage, let the waters run higher, let it rain, oh won't you let it rain, baptized in a river of fire. So good. The band also covers that song In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. It's a very wonderful, sensuous, slow, and sexy track. I love it. And then lastly, I have this set list autographed by the band. It's from their Black Widow tour. And so you see this wonderful graphic at the top, and then the tracks, and then the personalized inscriptions done in a Sharpie to let them know, what sound to be making, what note to be hitting, the order, the arrangement, things like that. I see War Machine, that's Randy. They did Sick Like Me, that's the opener. Black Widow, Adrenalize, Sex Metal Barbie, Burn, Into the Light, Fallen Heroes, a solo, Big Bad Wolf, and then they closed out with Whore and Blood, their big jam. So, there we go. And so that's all that I have to show you. Let me take another sip of my drink here. Really, I just have to say that, excuse me, if you're at all interested in metal music, alternative kind of metal, industrial, hard rock music, check out the band In This Moment. They're from Los Angeles. They've been rocking for many, many years now and have undergone some evolutionary changes. The lineup has switched just a little bit. They've got just a wonderful depth of sound and lyrical content, and then their theatrical stage presence is just, it's wonderful. They've got smoke machines, lights flashing, props, like dancing dancers, dancing girls, the Blood Girls. They've got costumes. They're looking like raw and hard and dark and just scary and macabre. It's just a lovely, wonderful thing. I have not been to one of their shows since the summer of 2017, I believe, and so I'm definitely missing out. I would like to get to a show soon once they're back on the road. I think they're also working on a new album. Lots to look forward to, basically. So this one goes out to Maria Brink, Chris Howarth, Randy Weitzel, Travis, and let's see, the drummer. Oh my gosh, the drummer. I'm forgetting the names here. This is unfortunate. It used to be their drummer was Tom Hain, but then they switched over. They've got another drummer. Oh no. I'll make sure to add him in the description. I'll have to look it up. I'm so sorry. I should know that, his name. The drummer, the drummer boy. The drummer boy's got blonde hair. I should have done my research better before starting this video. I just hadn't thought of them in a little while. Otherwise I would know. It's not Tom Hain, it's... Enjoy these mouth sounds while I cogitate, while I think. Oh gosh, I just don't know, but I'll be sure to add it there. In any event, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely, wonderful day, or night, or morning, or evening, whatever it is, whenever this finds you. This is ASMR Val, signing off.